What's up, CCM? Hello, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the weekly devotional thought. And this week, we're going to be reading out of Matthew chapter 5, verses 29 through 30. But just a short little thought from Matthew chapter 5 this week. And this week, I want to talk about just the idea of dealing with sin in our life. And this passage is talking about dealing with sin issues in our life. And this is a very relevant topic because each and every one of us has sin issues we deal with. There's not a single person who doesn't struggle with sin. We've all sinned, we've all fallen short, and we all have a flesh that likes to sin. And so this is something, as believers, we need to learn how to handle, learn how to deal with. We need to learn how to manage the sin in our lives and the temptation in our lives in order to live lives that are honoring and pleasing to God. We can't just let our sin run rampant. And I think Jesus, in this passage, speaks very clearly to some of the ways that we can deal with the sin in our life. And so I'm just going to get right to it and read. So Matthew chapter 5, verse 29 and 30. Jesus says, "If your right eye causes you to sin, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to sin, cut it off and throw it away. It is better for you to lose one part of your body than for your whole body to go into hell." So simple as that. If something in your life is causing you to sin, cut it off. Jesus is very just straightforward and pretty strict and serious about this, but it's just because sin in our life is not something to be messed around with, not something to play around with. It's not something we can just be lackadaisical about. It's something we need to be serious about because it is an issue of our souls and our eternity. And in the context of this passage, Jesus is talking specifically about adultery, and he says that even anyone who looks lustfully at a woman has committed adultery in his heart. And then he says, if your right eye causes you to sin, cut it off. So he's talking specifically about adultery and sexual sin. But I don't believe that Jesus' response here is just limited to sexual sin. I believe that he would say this about any sin issue in your life. But I think especially with sexual sin, he has a very strict response to that. But let's just say, in general, a good word of wisdom for your life. If there's a sin issue in your life currently that you're struggling with, you're wrestling with, you have this sin issue that comes up time and time again, and you can't seem to shake it, can't seem to beat it. If you can find out the things in your life that are causing you to sin, if you can trace your sin back to a specific thing, back to a specific action, a certain thing that you're participating in, you're doing, if you can trace back to a certain thing that is causing you to sin, cut that thing off from your life. No excuses. For example, if the media I'm consuming, if the movies I'm watching is causing me to have thoughts that are sinful or dishonoring to the Lord, if the movies I'm watching if they're causing me to sin, then I need to stop watching those movies. I don't need to say, oh, well, I'm just going to keep watching these movies, but I'll just do better at controlling myself. I'll just do better at controlling my mind. I'll just do better at fighting temptation. No, cut off the thing that is causing temptation. If there is something in your life that is bringing up a point of temptation for you, cut that thing off. It is better to not have that thing at all than to have the opportunity to fall into sin. Jesus says it's better for you to throw out a part of your body than for your whole body to be thrown into hell. So you need to kind of count the cost a little bit and realize, is this thing really worth hanging on to at the cost of my soul and at the cost of me living a life that is holy and righteous and pleasing to God? And so there's not really much else I need to say other than that. There's other things we can do, obviously, to move away from sin, to be free from sin. But I believe this is one just very huge, impactful thing that you can do is just simply remove the things in your life that are causing temptation. And the less opportunity you have for temptation, the less you're tempted. The less you're tempted, the easier it is to avoid sin. Simple as that. So let's take Jesus' words seriously. If something is causing us to sin, let's cut it off. Let's radically remove it from our life so that we have more space to live lives that are honoring and pleasing to the Lord. That's all I have for you guys this week. Just a challenge for you. Take these words seriously this week. Remove points of sin from your life. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you for our next devotional thought, our next video. So, peace.